Okay, right after we do this, you have to start talking. We have to wait 2 seconds.
I'm Mccall.
And I'm Grace. And together we'll learn something great today.
Hello, I'm Mccall, and welcome to the Mccall and Grace podcast.
As you can see, we haven't been making so much videos lately, but we're back and we're going to be making a lot more. As you can see, we also have a new studio.
But before we start, there has been a question that has been bugging me. I have learned a sport that was called pickleball. Does it actually have pickles?
No, and it's for old people. I mean, sometimes my dad and mom play, but mainly old people play. How do you think?
I think probably that, I really don't know. Maybe if they just had a pickle stand, it would be better, right?
Yeah.
So I'm disappointed for the game pickleballs. There are no pickles.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how good I could be if there's pickles around, if there's pickles everywhere. Or the winning prize was pickles.
Like this. Boom. Boom. Bang. Bang. Oh, that was so good imagining that.
Yeah.
Sad it's not even a thing, right?
Yeah.
So let's start the podcast.
Yes, let's do that.
Why don't we talk about the latest adventure we had?
Yes, what's the latest adventure?
The latest adventure was a baby sloth.
Or are you talking about our cousins coming?
Oh, yes. That's the one.
Our cousins came. We went to a volcano. Wait, I need to scratch my back. We went to a volcano called Arenal. It was so fun, and there's rivers near the volcano, and they were heated up by the volcano. And it was so hot. I sweat in the water. I didn't even know that was possible.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, and we are also been practicando our Español, ¿verdad?
Sí, verdad. Okay, what about, tell us the other thing. You mentioned the sloth.
So, why don't I just tell you the whole story? It's easier. So, we were walking with our tour guide with our cousins. And there's this guy cutting the grass. And he was like, but let's get back to it. And the tour guide saw him looking at something. And the tour guide said, "What are you looking at?" And he said, "There's a baby possum right there in the bush." And then he went to go pick it up. And you know what it was? A baby sloth fell down from the tree on a branch.
Oh yes, I remember that. It kept on crying, climbing up the tree, and then all of a sudden, this made me laugh. He was screaming for his mom, "Mom, Mom!" Then all of a sudden he latched onto the tree branch, and then he just fell asleep.
How funny was that?
That was pretty nice.
Very funny. A funny story, well, that is.
Yes.
Like in every podcast, the most important part is that we learn a part of the Bible. Today, sharing it with us is, again, our mom. Give her a round of applause.
Welcome, Mom. How have you been doing?
I've been doing great. How have you been doing?
Good.
Great.
I'm excited to be doing more podcasts with you guys again. I think it's going to be really fun. What do you think?
Fun. I think it's going to be really fun.
I hope so. We have a lot of ideas of things that we want to do and talk about, don't we, ladies?
Yes.
But today, we're just going to start with a very basic one.
Well, what is that?
Great question. Today, we are going to talk about sin. It sounds kind of depressing, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of, but it's actually super important to understand the gospel, which is the greatest news that has ever been. And so we've got to understand what sin is. Do you have any ideas of what you think sin might be?
Well, isn't it like disobeying God's law, the 10 Commandments?
Great idea. Sin is practicing lawlessness, disobeying God's law. I think it's important to understand that God created us to love Him above all else and to obey Him, right? So sin is anything we do that goes against God's will and His plan, His law, and His design for us. Now, why would we even want to obey God's will and His design and His plan?
Well, I don't know.
Why would we want to obey God?
Well, because he made us and we...
And he's God.
And he's God. God made us and he's good and he loves us. And his will and his plan for our life is the best. It's perfect, right? But sin is anything that we think or say or do that goes against what God has for us, okay? Do you remember when we went to the YMCA of the Rockies? Do you remember that? We took our family there. And do you remember we got to shoot the bow and arrows?
Oh, that's so fun.
That was so fun. And what were we aiming at?
The bullseye.
The bullseye on the target, right?
But I hit the other person's bullseye.
You missed the mark. You hit the other person's bullseye. So you were looking down your arrow and you were trying to aim exactly where you wanted to go and you missed. You went to the other person's bullseye, but you got pretty good after some practice, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you enjoyed it as well, even though your arms were a little bit short. Right? So sin is actually, that's a great way we can picture sin. That's the biblical word for sin, is missing the mark. The mark is like the target where we're aiming for. And if you miss that, that is sin. Have you ever missed the mark?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
A bunch of times. Me too. And how do you feel when you do that?
Very sad.
Guilty.
You feel guilty. Yeah, you feel very sad. That is how I feel as well. Really sad when I miss the mark. And it's something that all people do. The Bible in Romans says that everybody has sinned and fall short of the glory of God. But who cares? Why do we care that we sin and that we miss the mark?
Because we're disobeying what God says to do.
We're disobeying what God says to do. When you disobey at home, do you get a consequence or does nobody really care?
I get a consequence.
Yeah.
What if you actually disobey or you don't do something you're supposed to do and no one notices and you don't have an actual consequence from your parents?
I would feel guilty inside though.
Yeah, same.
Well, that's awesome. That's probably the Holy Spirit convicting you. But what if you're a really good person?
No
Well,
one's better
everybody
than God.
sins.
Oh, man. Both of you were right. You said no one's better than God, right? His standard is holy perfection. And you said everybody sins, so you're both right. There's only one person who lived a perfect life with zero sin. He hit the mark 100% of the time, always. Who was that?
Jesus.
God.
Jesus.
and God.
Jesus, God in the flesh. And he actually paid to fix that broken relationship that we have with God because of our sin, right? He died to cancel that out. We know that the wages of sin is death. So even if we don't get caught when we sin, the wages of sin, the price that we have to pay for sinning is actually death. It's a spiritual death and eventually a real death, right? Mm-hmm. But Jesus came to give us life and forgiveness and restore our relationship with God, which is really great news, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Would you look up Matthew 22:37 for me?
Sure, I love to.
And then you can read it to us. That'll be our verse that we can try to memorize from this podcast.
So
That's my Bible.
in the middle.
This verse is in the New Testament, and a very similar verse is in the Old Testament. But here, when we read it in Matthew, it's actually spoken by Jesus himself. And so if Jesus says something, it's pretty important that we listen to it.
And here it is. And he said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind."
With all your heart, with all your soul,
And
And with all your mind.
That's right. So really, sin is a heart issue of, do we love ourselves? Do we love other things? Or do we love God the most?
We love God. You can love your dog a lot, but not as much as God.
You can love your dog. It's okay to love other things, but you have to make sure that you love God more than anything else. And you love God by obeying his word, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what was your Spanish word of the day? We're doing a Spanish word of the day. What should be our word today?
Pescado. Wait.
Fish?
No.
Pecado.
Pecado.
Pescado.
Sin. So they sound similar. Pecado is sin.
Pescado.
Pescado
Well,
is
that
fish.
brings us to the joke of the day.
Wait, say that just one more time. Pescado?
Well, pescado brings us to the joke of the day.
What's that?
Well, how do pescados, fish, contact each other?
How?
Using a shell phone.
That one cracks me up. Thank you so much for joining in.
We hope you watch more.